everyone, welcome back to WsCube. In our previous session, we learned about what our list, we learned different method with the list, we did the iterations with the list. In our today's session, we will be solving problems related to the list. So there are so many problems that can occur with our list, and we will be solving some of them over here. So I hope all the doubts and all the questions that you will be having till now will be cleared after this problem solving session.
Before that, if you want to become a successful data analyst and if you want to learn from our experts live, then you can call on the given number or you can fill the form that is provided in our description. Not just that, with our every batch, you will be getting 2 demo classes for free.
So let's get started. Let's see what questions do we have over here in front of us. So we have a list over here, A, and inside some names are written. And our first question says to write a program to swap the first and the fourth element over here. So all you need to do is replace the first element with the fourth element and replace the fourth element with the first element from this list. So first of all, let's understand the logic, that what logic will be used to solve this problem. So for example, I have a list A. Inside I have 4 elements 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, just like how we have 4 elements inside our list that is there in the question, similarly we have 4 elements over here. What we need to do, we need to replace both these elements, that we need to store the value of 40 in 10 and the value of 10 into 40. Now how it can be done? So what we can do over here is we can use a temporary variable over here. I can create a temporary variable, store the value of 10 over here. For storing the value of 10, that means 10 resides on our index number 0. So I'll be writing A of 0. Now A of 0 is the value of this temporary variable. Okay. So now we will be discussing about this actual A of 10 position. So A of 10 position, that means A of 0, will be replaced with what? A of -1 position. So what we will be doing, we will be writing A of -1. So that means this 40 has gone in this place. So now the new list that we have is 40, 20, 30, 40. So this will be the new list that will be obtained after this operation. Now this is not what we want. We want at number 40 that 10 number should be there at number 40. For that, what we will be doing, we will be writing A of -1. That will be our last element of our list, and we will be replacing it with the temporary variable. That will be our A of 0. But if we will write A of 0 over here, A of 0 right now is 40. But if you remember, we did in the starting, we did this procedure that inside the temporary variable, we have stored the value of A of 0. That means this temporary variable holds our 10 over here. That's why we use this temporary variable. So instead of writing A of 0 over here, we will be writing temporary variable that will give us A of 0 over here, which will present us with a list which looks like this: 40, 20, 30 and 10. So this is a small example over here. Let's try to put it in our Python. So our motive over here is to replace the first element with the last element. So we'll be creating a temporary variable over here. Inside this temporary variable, I'll be adding the value rows over here. How I'll be writing it? By writing A inside the square bracket, I'll be writing 0, which tells me that inside this temporary variable, now the rows has been stored. Okay. Now what we need to do, at the place of rows, we need to add Joey over here. So we will be writing A. Inside this, we will be writing 0. That on the 0th position inside the list, that means on the first position inside the list, what we will be storing, we will be storing the value which is there on the last position. That would be A of -1. So I'll be writing A of -1. That would be our Joey. And if I print it right now, so I'll be printing list at every point. So I'll be printing A over here, and I'll print A over here as well. So initially my list looked like this, which had Ross, Rachel, Monica, Joey. After making the changes, that after replacing the 0th value, that means the first value, with our last index, we got a list like this: Joey, Rachel, Monica, Joey. Right now what we want, that at the place of this last value, it should be Ross over there. So for that, what we will be doing, we will be writing, so what we will be doing over here, we will be writing A of -1. That means our last value will be replaced by our temporary variable. It won't be replaced by A of 0 because A of 0 right now is Joey. So it will take Joey again. But what we need to do, we need to replace it with a temporary variable which was holding the value of Ross. So we will be replacing it with the temporary variable. And now if I print my list A and run it, you will now see that the first element is there at last and the last element over here is now at first. So if I remove this center print and run it, so now you can see that the first element has been replaced by the last element and the last element has been replaced by the first element. So our question is done over here. Our next question over here says write a program to add a new value at a second position. We know very clearly that our append method allows us to store a value, but it adds at a last of the list. It never adds at a center of a list or at a specified value. It adds at the last of the list. So here we have another method in our list which we have learned in our list methods, that is insert. Insert allows us to insert a value at whatever position we want to insert it at. So let's see how it can be done. So considering the same example over here, I'll be first printing a and getting the output like this. Now at the second position, that means at the place of Rachel, over here what we will be adding a new value. Let it be anything. So what I'll be writing a dot insert. Now insert over here comes with the two parameters. What two things we will be providing, that is with what position we want to add and what thing we want to add. Suppose we want to add on position 1, because on 0 we already have a Ross. We want it on second position index number would be 1. At position number 1 we want to add Phoebe, and after this if I print a and run it, so now you can see at number second position we have Phoebe over here with us. So this is how our insert method works. So remember guys, append will add something in the end of the list and insert will allow us to add it at whatever position we want to add it to. Moving ahead with the next part of this question. So here it says that write a program to delete a value from third position. Let's see how to delete a value from a third position. Now here we clearly know that our pop method allows us to remove something from the list, but with the help of the pop method we can only remove the last element from the list. What if we want to eliminate a value which is in the middle of the list or which is at a defined position? So for that we will be using a delete function over here. For that I'll be writing delete, and what I want to delete a of so number third element would be our Monica, which is on 0 1 2. I'll be writing 2 over here, and if I print a after this and run it, so you will see that on the third position we first had Monica, but in our new list that has been provided to us, the Monica is not there anymore. So our this question had 3 parts which we have solved, and I hope you guys have no doubts and no questions. Let's see what do we have in our next question. Our next question over here says write a program to multiply all the numbers in the list. Now as the question says that we have to go to the each element inside the list. So yes, we have to iterate through the list, and yes, for loop will be used over here. So let's see how a for loop will be used over here. So I'm creating a list over here called as A. Inside I'll be writing some elements 10, 20, 30 and 40. So I have to find a multiplication of all these 4 numbers. So I'll be iterating to each element. First I'll be going to this one, then second this one, then third this one, and this fourth one. For that I will also be needing a total over here, but right now what I'll be doing, I will not be keeping, because we want to multiply these numbers, and if I put total is equals to 0, the multiplication will give me automatically 0, because yes, total will be multiplied, right? So 0, if I put 0 over here, all the numbers after multiplication, they will also become 0. So I'll be keeping this totals value over here as 1. I hope you have understood what is the logic of keeping the total value of as 1. Because if I had to find the sum of all the numbers, then I would have written 0 over here, because we were adding it. But multiplication with 0 will give us a 0. That's why I'm putting the totals value 1 over here. After this, we will be going in the range of this list. So for I in range of len of a, so we'll be going from 0 to length of a, and what we will be doing, we will be adding the total over here. So total would be multiplication is equals to I. That means each element will be multiplied with this total. So initially it will be 1. After multiplication with the 10, it will become 10. After multiplication with the 20, it will become 200. After multiplication with the 30, it will become 6,000. After multiplication with the 40, it will become 2,40,000. Okay, let's see if it works in this way or not. So I've taken this list over here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the length of it. So for finding the length of it, I'm creating a small a variable over here. Inside a, I'll be writing len of a, or we can do with the directly. So here what we'll be doing, we can use the direct method as well by writing for I in a, that is the name of our list. We'll be iterating to the elements of this list, and what we will be doing, we will be creating a variable called as total over here. So total will be is equals to 1 as this is, because if we'll put it as 0 after multiplication, it will give us the whole value as 0 over here. And then after iterating to each element, we will be incrementing this total, that total multiply is equals to by I. So every time with the total I will be multiplied, and lastly we will print the multiplication, or we can write the product of all the numbers in the list if, I'll put a comma over here and write total. So as soon as I run it, you will see we will get the output 10920, and if you will try to multiply it, yes, you will get the same output. So I hope it is clear how we have solved this problem. Next we will be moving ahead with our next problem over here. So our next problem over here says write a program to get the largest number from the list. So we already have a list over here. It's written in a format of a string. Don't confuse it with the format of a string. It's all the integers over here. So we'll be writing a program to get the largest number from this list. Now to obtain the largest number of the list, there is a very simple method. We know that we have a sort method which arranges everything inside the list in the ascending order. So I'll be considering an example of a list over here which has elements like this. Okay. Now what I will be doing, if I'll go to each value and compare each value, that would be a very long task. That's why list has provided us with a method over here. In our list functions, we learned a method that is called as sort method. Now here what we will be doing, we will be using our sort method. Sort method allows us to arrange everything in the ascending order. So I'll be writing a dot sort. And if I print the list after this, it will give me a list something like this: 9, 10, 13, 32. So we know that after arranging it to a ascending order, it will obviously give us the last element as the largest number. The ascending order means that it starts from the smallest number and ends at the largest number. We know that whatever the last element will be there inside the list, that would be the largest number, that would be the greatest number. And to obtain that, we can directly print a, and inside the square bracket we can write -1. -1 will give us the largest number from the list. So let's try it with the Python program as well. Here I will be writing a dot sort, and after this I'll be printing my a. So if I print a over here and run it, it will give me with an output of a list which looks like this. So it has been arranged into an ascending order. Now we clearly know that the last element would be our largest number over here, the greatest number over here, and to fetch the greatest number, all we need to do is write a, and inside the square bracket we'll be writing -1, and also over here in the starting we can add the largest or the greatest number in the provided list is, I'll put a comma over here and write a of -1. That would be our 13, which is very clear that 13 is the largest number over here. Similarly, it is asking for our smallest number as well, that what is this, how to find the smallest number inside the list. So the same method will be used over here. We will be sorting it into ascending order, but this time we will be fetching for the first element. So all you need to do is write print the smallest number in the provided list is, I'll put a comma and write a of 0. That means the first element, we need to fetch the first element. So here if now I run it, I over here have the greatest number as 13, and over here I have the smallest number as 7. This is how you can get the smallest and the largest number from a list. So guys, here we have solved 6 problems related to the list. I hope you guys have no doubts and no questions. In our next session, we will be starting with a whole new topic, whole new module, that will be our tuples. So stay connected guys, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you.